Hi, I'm Tom Scarpello of Revology Cars, and I'm very pleased to be here today to announce the launch of our own in-house Mustang unibody. So this is a very significant event for us. It means that we're now 100% vertically integrated. Sheet metal comes in one side of the building and completed cars go out the other side, just like Henry Ford envisioned it over 100 years ago. So what is a unibody and why is it important? Like all modern cars, the original Mustang was built using a unibody construction. It doesn't have a frame, but the unibody construction allows for a much more lightweight yet still very rigid body. All of the chassis components, the powertrain components, basically everything that makes the car function bolts and attaches to the unibodies. The unibody is the basic structure of the car. It's absolutely critical, particularly when you're building an upgraded version of an original Mustang with significantly more power, a much more competent chassis that can generate significantly more grip. It puts a lot more stress on that unibody. So that unibody has to be that much more stiff and rigid, very solid. And that's one of the main reasons that we use only new unibodies in all Revology builds. Now, there are a number of companies that are making original Mustang unibodies, but it's really not ideal for us for a couple of reasons. Number one, because we're using modern powertrains that generate roughly twice the power and torque of the original powertrains. We're subjecting the body to a lot more stress. Also, the chassis is a much more sophisticated chassis. It generates a lot more grip. That also has a lot more input into the body structure. We spend a lot of time on at Revologys is all the enhancements to the body to make it more stiff and rigid. The other thing is because the components that we use are generally larger. The current Mustang 5-liter Coyote engine with its 4 cams and 32 valves, it's physically a much larger engine than the old overhead valve pushrod engine. Likewise, our transmission is 10 speeds versus the 3-speed automatic that was used in the original. These components are physically larger, and we're packaging them in the same amount of space. Our outer dimensions of our body is exactly the same as an original Mustang. So that means that we have to be a lot more precise in terms of the tolerances. Those are the two main reasons that we found it beneficial to bring the production of the unibody in-house.
So my role is basically overseeing the construction of the fixturing for the unibody. I come from an environment where decisions have to be made in a split second. Here, I'm able to slow down and really focus in on the root cause and do a good analysis of the root cause so that you can put a permanent corrective action in place and just make sure the vehicle comes out the same way every time. Seeing the outcome of some of these vehicles with all the inputs that we're doing with this is just something I'm proud to be a part of it.
We have created a lot of fixturing to develop the bodies repeatably. We purchased a spot welder. It's a spot welder that's approved by several OEMs, and it's automatically adjusts to the weld schedule that's required to ensure a good weld. Our customers are benefited by Revology making our own unibodies in the value for money. In terms of NVH, so the squeaks and rattles that you might get from an old car, you're not going to get that anymore.
I think it's a major milestone for Revology. We've come a long way since the beginning, but the 3 years that I've been here, I've definitely seen a major growth and much more efficiency, better quality, and it's a little rewarding to see that over the years.
Our approach is as much as possible to be like an OEM, an original equipment manufacturer, like Ford, BMW, Honda. These companies are so much more sophisticated than your typical small business, obviously. Nowadays, technology has made it possible for us to emulate the OEMs in a lot of ways. as few as 10 years ago, we might not have been able to do that. But I mean, we don't have you know, six-figure price tag coordinate measuring machines, but you know, with some decent quality lasers, we're able to get some pretty precise measurements, which really helped us to set up our fixtures with a very, very high degree of accuracy. Having a singular focus, building cars on this one platform, all we do, almost 50 people here every day. This is what we do, this is what we know, and this is why we're experts at it.